Hello everybody and welcome to Master Workshops Vista Portfolio. I'm Alicia Dianne and let's go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm sorry I'm starting late today. I had a couple of technical difficulties this morning, but not to worry because we're going to pick up where we left off, and I actually have some exciting changes that I'm making with this piece. I wanted to test myself and really do some stuff that felt more on trend, with not necessarily on trend but more in alignment with what is going on today in the studios. So I've been reworking this piece, the Out of the Bottle, and I've just been taking out the line work and just creating a piece that feels more like current. So I've been working on that last night and this morning, and I'm going to import this file from my Procreate because I was doing that all in Procreate. So let's go ahead and swap this in. I'm going to airdrop it to my computer. Hope you guys are having a good morning. I know it's a super weird week to say the least, but you know what, we're just gonna keep on pushing. We're not gonna worry about anything else other than making wonderful, amazing art. And if I could find my art glove, that would be incredible as well. I'm not seeing my art glove. It's gonna be around here somewhere, so usually don't take it very far, but we'll see. Alright, I'm going to import this because I was having a look at some of my other pieces, like my Studying the Master stuff, and I'm just like, you know what, I want to get rid of this line stuff that I've been doing, and let's see if I can just keep this in the background, and maybe I can just like zoom it out quite a bit. Let's see. So I can see the whole thing. Alright. I just want to keep it in mind while I'm working on this. There's another piece that I wanted to share as well. Let's see if I can find that really quickly. Have it right here. And this one. Alright, so everything should be here. Alright, so let's see. My mouse is dead too for some reason. So, alright, we're not going to worry too much about that stuff. I want to continue reworking some of the things I've been doing with my characters here, and I might. Alright, so let's pop this over. You know what, let me go ahead and while this, since my mouse is dead apparently, I'm just gonna put it to charge, and hopefully soon enough it will start working again. Okay, I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to rework some of these a little bit. Hopefully I can find brushes I like, because like I've said before, I haven't been using Photoshop as much, so I also need to get used to using Photoshop again, because honestly for some things, especially like this sort of a Vista thing, it feels like Photoshop might be better than Procreate because it allows for a lot more layers than Procreate is allowing. And I want to make sure that at least for right now. I know that the more updated Procreate, which hopefully I'll be getting a new iPad soon, that's really on my like immediate goals list, because I know that the my iPad right now is like 2017, so it's really like turning into a dinosaur. So the newer ones allow for a lot more layers and they have a lot more storage space and RAM to work with than my very aged Procreate that I have right now. Alright, so let's see. And one of the things that I didn't do before was just not be so reliant on that sketch layer. I realized when you're working digital painting, you really need to treat it like a regular traditional painting, and I keep forgetting that part. I keep like remembering that it's, you know, digital and trying to treat it digitally. So it's one of the things that I'm trying to train myself to do. But every time I forget, I'm just gonna have to like retrain myself because it doesn't make sense to get mad. Don't get mad at yourself if you're new to digital painting, because I mess up all the time. And I'm trying to train myself to paint a certain way. I don't know. I mean, it's good to have your own ways, but I don't want to be in a comfort zone where I'm not willing to expand what's possible for me. So that's, I think, the balance between, you know, just being your true and authentic self, which I think you should always be, but you also got to give yourself room to grow and expand what you're capable of doing. I don't want to ever like not do things because I don't know how to do them. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to explore in this series, was really like challenging myself. And I'm doing this live. I'm not doing this as someone who has done this expertly many times. I'm doing this as something that I'm learning to do, and hopefully it's something that you can learn to do along with me. So I'm not doing this as someone who's been in the industry doing this for many years. My take is very different. It's more like I'm adapting and learning new ways of painting, and I'm sharing that process with you all. And hopefully it's something that you can learn and grow from as well. Alright, so things I want to talk about today. I don't want to talk about politics. That's the thing I don't want to talk about. I'm overwhelmed. It's overcooked. It's burnt. So I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just don't. So I won't. Don't want to talk about it. Done. I am done officially. Alright, so what I do want to talk about is sometimes drawing can just be that peaceful space that you need to get away from everything else that's going on. I was kind of reminded by that, but I saw this meme yesterday and I thought it was funny. I shared it, and it says, "Who just wants to stay home and draw today?" And I was like, you know what? That's exactly how I feel. You know, I ran a bunch of errands yesterday. At the end of the day, I just took like an hour and just, you know, did some painting and figure drawing and just forgetting about everything else, because we can't forget that drawing is just like that, and can be that, just that place of peace for us if we let it. So don't forget that, you know, when things are going crazy around you, just always remember that you have your drawing, and sometimes it's good to just come back to it and just focus on that for a while and not worry about any of the noise that's happening, like literal and figurative noise that's happening outside. Just let all that stuff go and remember, come back to your drawing. Alright, I want to also use a pencil for the eraser. One of the things, oops, what is this? This is not an eraser. They don't let me use the pencil for an eraser. Nope. So what can I use then? Boo 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 boo. Well, it won't let me use that, so let's see. What are my options? I don't know if I want to, you know, it still won't let me. Oh, that's so weird. Okay, well, let's just see if this works. Maybe. I'm definitely gonna see Moana 2. I don't know if I'm excited about it. I'm kind of expecting, or like I have my guard up to be disappointed. I don't like the model for her. I feel like they made her look old now. Which I get that she's a few years older, but she looks like way older. I don't think you have to look like so much older just because you're older. Like, remember when they did the Ariel part 2 with, and Ariel looks still the same? Your voice might mature or something, but you should be essentially the same character. She looks like she's aged too much, or like she's had a hard couple years, and I don't like that. It's not. I don't know. I don't like it. Oh, that's not my brush I was using. I was using this one. Alright, so I decided I'm going to scrap everything I did with the door because I was getting way too into the detail, and like I want to keep it. What's happening here? I want to keep it fairly loose, and it was just getting too. Oops. I might need to change my nib. It looks weird. I think I do need to change my nib. Alright, let's see if I can do this quickly. Alright. It's probably time to buy some new ones, honestly. I've had these since, I think that's much better. Yeah, I've had these nibs since since I got my Cintiq, and that was in 2015. Everyone says Wacom. I don't know why. I hate when people say it like that, even if it is I don't know if it's the right pronunciation. I've always said Wacom, and I'm going to continue to say Wacom. Wacom just sounds like whack-a-mole or something. It sounds weird. I don't know. I could be wrong, but who cares? Who cares anymore? The world's gonna end in a few months, so. Just kidding. Not really, but just kidding. Alright, so. I guess I should. Nah, I mean, real life is too heavy right now. I want to get into it, but not really. One thing I need to work on today is I'm applying to UCLA for the African Studies program, and if I think I told you guys already. Yeah, I want to know more. I want to know so much more, and especially as I'm getting further and further into the JD Story series. I know there's going to be things that I'm adding because I've already written out the whole series, but I know that each time I work on a new book, which doing the second one now, I'm realizing I'm going to keep on, like, one of the things that they say is like, the film's never done until you release it. And the same thing with graphic novels or anything that you're making. It's never really done, like, until you release it. And so I'm going to keep on making changes to make it best as I see possible. And if I can add more information, and if I can know more, I think that will only be better. I'm just really passionate about African studies, and I recently had something happen that made me realize how much even more passionate I am than I might have realized, because I had an experience where someone kind of challenged me. I don't know why, but like tried to insult my culture, and it really threw me off, and it made me realize how uneducated many people are in regards to African history. So it just made me feel more motivated to want to learn more so I can do at least my part to like feel like I can add to the conversation and make it more of a conversation within our art form, within um, animation, illustration, and cartooning, which are the art forms I focus on and want to make impact in. Alright. I just want to get these lines so they're not all jagged and stuff, so I can go onto my my shading layer where I'll add most of this definition here. This doesn't need a lot of these things I can remove, like okay. But I just want to take out those heavy lines because we don't need those. And I didn't realize how much we don't need them until I'm actually getting my hands dirty in this, you know? I'm like, what am I doing? I'm doing this, it's a habit for me, like doing all the line stuff. It's completely habit, and I'm trying to break it. Like, I don't want to be overly dependent on line and be able to just paint when I need to paint. So it's a process and I'm working through it. It's so hard to break though. It's such a habit. I didn't even realize how much of a habit it is. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be working without the line now. I'm supposed to be working without the sketch. And I forget every time. Conveniently so of me. So please forgive me if I've gone back to the characters yet again, because I'm trying to figure this out. And that's why this series is I'm spending so much time on this series, because I'm trying to break my old habits, and I'm trying to relearn some things. So bear with me if it's like tedious, because it's what, 11th or 12th week, I think. I'll have to check. I'm not entirely positive how many weeks I've been working on this. But remember, I've been working just about only in this during this series while I'm streaming. So the only time I worked on it outside was just this morning and last night. Up until now, I've just only been working on it during the stream. So I'm trying to finish the projects I have that I'm actually been paid for. And my own graphic novel, which I'm already behind the deadline I set. I've had to move it like so many times already. So forgive me if this is a side project for me, but I feel like it's definitely worth it, and it's worth learning from. And I want to take what I learned here into the rest of the pieces, and I'm pretty sure that from here on out, it's going to go faster. I can't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure it will go a lot faster. So one thing is, when you're making, like, you have to make it really clean, because when you go over it and you have the alpha lock on, or you have it like the clipping mask, it's gonna go only over what you painted. So you want to make sure that everything is really smooth and you don't have holes, because that will show really significantly once you get to that shading layer and you're adding those things on, and it's going to show you where you have holes. So I'm trying to fix all of that right now. That's the thing, it doesn't work like a traditional painting. You want to treat it like a traditional painting, but it doesn't work in the same way, because obviously when you're working with the traditional, you don't have to worry about clipping masks. You can just paint right over things. But in this case, clipping mask makes it easier, but it also, you know, will show you all of your errors. It will highlight the errors of your ways. So you gotta make sure that you're doing it right. I'm really glad though that even though like it took me back a few steps, I'm glad that I decided to take that line off, because I know that I want to, moving forward, work without that line. I have to get used to it though. It's hard for me to get used to it, but I have to get used to it. And it's like this, I'm trying to tell myself, like, this is what I've always done with my regular paintings. Why do I have a disconnect? I don't know. If anybody else has this issue, let me know. We can create like a support group. Digital painting line support group. I need that in my life. I need to take a break, a vacation. I want to just go to Yosemite and just hang out there for like a week and forget about everything in the world and just like paint. I'm gonna make some clay stuff too. I need to get myself, like, I saw like one of my neighbors had delivered it was like 3 or 4 boxes of the 30-pound air dry Crayola clay, and I was like tempting to myself like low-key, like, should I just take a box? It was looking so amazing. I'm like, no, I'm not taking a box, obviously, but dang, I really need to go on Amazon and get myself that like 30-pound box of air dry clay and just go to town making like character molds and just like having fun, making little fun creations. I just die to do that kind of thing sometimes, and right now I just feel like I don't have the time to, but I really want to. I really just want to like go to town and make a whole bunch of clay stuff. Anybody else have this feeling? Have this clay desire? I just feel like making creatures and creations in clay. I feel so alone in it. Am I the only one that feels this way? I mean, like drawing artists, you know? Am I the only drawer that feels this way? I don't think so. I think there's gotta be a group of us for that. So along with the line support group for digital artists, we're also gonna make like clay people, drawing people who also secretly love clay and want to work with it, but not sure when to devote the time for it. But have like clay guilt. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you call it. Clay guilt, whatever. See, I have all these holes, and that's because I didn't turn off my sketch layer earlier. And I know that's the reason why I have all these holes and gaps and stuff. So that's why I'm trying to fix them all now. Hopefully, and get the edges right, because the edges in some places are all weird. Okay. I think we might be able to work on our next layer now. It looks like for the most part all of our gaps and things are cleaned up. Alright, so just being nitpicky on a couple of spots here now. I added this on just because I felt like I needed to see what was happening, but I mean that's really for the next layer. Alright, let's see. Alright, I think we can get into our second layer. Alright, so let's do that. Let's create a clipping mask. Alright. What is that? That's the rope. Okay, alright, so where should I need to get a brush that I like for shading or for creating. I know I want to use one of my pastel type brushes. Oil pastel. Alright, those could work. Cushion brushes. Alright, so these were the ones I'm looking for. Pastel. Let's see how this one works. Alright, so I need to keep my color. Alright, here I have my color library. Good. Alright, so let's grab this. Way too big. And that's the reason why we want to use the clipping mask, so that we can get oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Of course I'm on the wrong layer. Edit. Edit. Alright. Nope. Here. Alright. I'm just going to name it tint, shade, tint, tone, shade. Maybe it's more just tone and shade, but we'll see. Alright. Can make a little bit darker. There. Alright. Nighttime. Okay. Alright, so maybe I should just do shading first, I think. to simplify what's happening over here. I wonder if I can use the eraser for the pastel for the eraser too. I don't know. Maybe it won't let me. Good. All right. All right. A little bit darker than that. Oops. Back to my brush. Maybe that's why I should have had also. Okay. I think I'll just do the skin first though anyway. Should make it a little bit easier, I think. All right. Okay, I'm not mad at this so far. All right. And I'm assuming that it will start to feel more and more comfortable, like as I go on. Alright, I want to make this a little bit darker here. A little bit on his eyes, but not too much. Don't want to make him look like he's got issues. At least not too many issues. I'm trying to make stuff for kids' TV. So, I don't want somebody going through too much crisis. Just, regular amount of crisis. Everyday crisis. Don't have that money. Empty pockets crisis sort of thing. My son told me he was a funny looking genie. And anytime my son compliments my work, I think, alright, I did something good. He doesn't hand out compliments easily, so. Especially not to me, anyway. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to do this for belts. Okay, I'm starting to feel like I'm getting the hang a little bit. Things are feeling a little bit more normal. And one of the things you can do too, is kind of block out where you want the light and dark. You can block things out and then kind of convert them with your shading pencil. But I kind of like to do it this way because it kind of makes a little bit more sense for me to do it just in the local color and then come back, because especially when I'm doing something like completely from my head, so I feel like it allows me to kind of figure it out a little bit. Like I feel a little bit more able to figure it out. Alright, so we'll see how much this piece comes together, and you can tell me whether or not you feel like it was a success or utter failure. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. If I learn nothing else, it's to turn off that sketch layer sooner than later, so that you don't depend on it too much. And there's a hotkey for the brush size. I can't remember what it is, but I know there's one. If I have another brush that's not as, gosh, if I can't remember. I'll probably also soon want to see if there's a where's my light? My light's coming from the center, so I'm gonna move this, and instead I'm gonna have it more shaded on this side. So I want the light to come from the other side. I'm feeling a little bit more emboldened. Maybe it shows, I don't know, but feeling a little bit more confident as I keep going. Like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing now. I have another edge though. I'm using which one? Let's see this one. Is this just the sideways ones that feel weird with the other one because it's so up and down. Still trying to figure out if this is the brush I want at this time. Let's see about oh yeah, I forgot about this one. This one might come in handy. Trying to get the right blend that feels right for this. Use this one again for a second. Okay. spots. Get it a little bit lighter in some spots. But I'm starting to feel like, you can probably tell I'm feeling better than when we started out, and I felt a lot more unsure about the direction I was going with this, but now it's starting to flow a lot more. So that's what the thing too is, like, don't let the intimidation of trying something different stop you from trying, because as you go, you'll get more confident. You get a lot more confident as soon as you just get your feet in there. You'll be like, oh, okay, I can do this. And it starts to all make sense. It will start to make sense. And you can add the light, take away the light, add the shadow, take away the shadow, until you feel good about it. Take some of this out. Trying to find the right, I need to find the right color. And the right brush. As well as the right brush size. It's feeling more vised up to me now, but if that makes sense, it's feeling more, it has more of that vibe to me right now than it did before I changed it, which I like. Feels more like a studied painting, which it's supposed to be. Which I want it to feel like. And I feel it's so much better. And even like we're still in the early stages, I can still add effects to it and all kinds of fun things after. Like I'll probably add some smoky effect with the genie. Really get into that part, make that fun. My dog just got a haircut yesterday and they cut all her eyelashes off. I'm so mad. She has like the prettiest like Minnie Mouse eyelashes. I know this is a random thing, but they're so cute, and they always know like to keep her eyelashes on because they're so fun and cute. And then I don't know, it had to be like a new person cutting her. Oh well, she's still cute, but you know, she's just missing her little pretty eyelashes, which sucks. And I'm just kind of feathering in this lighter shade, and I'll probably go even a little bit lighter into very edge over here just to see like some transition. That feels better. Save. Okay. Anything else? I want to make it a little bit darker right here. Make it a bit darker, just to make that very clear where his head is. There, that feels better. Something going on here that I'm not sure of. I think it's that's bugging me. Just want to fix the color there really quick. So still see a bit of the line, and I want to, it's bugging me. I really didn't need to put the shading at all on this layer, but it's just figuring it out. So I'm not going to get upset about that. Just paint it over it on the other layer anyway. Alright, and grab the color. Okay, let's see where we're at. I like it. It's getting really fun. It's feeling like it's getting to a fun place, which I like. Alright, I'm kind of good on the genie, I think. Let's go over to the girl for a moment and see what we can do with her while we're still here. Okay. I think I can just erase this, honestly. I think I can get rid of that completely because I can see already where her chin is. I'll just go here. Not that much. A bit darker. Add that shading there. Set that off. And that. Perfect. Alright, I do want it to change her lips, like the highlighting and stuff with the lips. I might need a pencil for that because I need it to be relatively small. To get the detail. Just wanted it to be more of a no. I'll try that again. what I'm looking for. Let's see, maybe with no. Let's try again. Maybe one of these Kyle brushes. I think that's more like what I'm looking for. So I wanted to highlight this where her mouth is. Alright. I think I'll make this a bit darker in here. Not that much. Okay. Alright, let me make this a little bit smaller. And hopefully I can get the color I'm thinking of. Alright, so I'm trying to just get a little bit of light and dark in her lips. To create a little bit more of transition here. I think I may want to blend this a little bit more as well. Like blend the light to the dark a bit. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully I can keep the shape with adding the little, like, just want to make it transition from the light to the dark more. I really feel like I'm coloring now. I mean, I am, but it really feels like it. Trying to get the right hue. I think it's coming, but it's just slow. With her lips here. Okay. Probably go a little bit darker in here. Let's just separate that a little bit more. Okay, I'm into it. All right. Moving on. You make a couple of changes. The color transition in her nose. Even this out a little bit more. It's always like trying not to make, I want to separate the nose from the face because I like that. I mean, I think it looks cute, but it's a fine line between, you know, having that distinct nose color and then making them look almost like a Muppet. So I have to be careful. Be careful with that. Okay. Let's see what we want to do here. Alright, not bad. Everything I want to do with her eyes are pretty, they stand out quite well. It's different than the genie because his eyes were just like right together, but her, she's quite a bit different. I'll probably put her blush on a separate layer. Just cause. But yeah, that looks so much better. We could probably go a little bit, like add a little highlight in there. Alright, I like it, I like it. Let me get a brush so I can keep on adding. Alright. I feel like we're making more progress in this than we have this whole series so far. And that feels really good. I'm gonna shade this area. It's not so bad once you get the hang of it. Changes. And the brush I'm using is Pastel B Air & Blaze brush. But I tell you, you can't really go wrong with a pastel. Pastels, brushes, like digital brushes, are like really nice. Well, I really like using digital pastel brushes for like shading. So I don't care where you get it from. If you can get yourself a pastel brush, then you're probably good to go. What did we learn? Take that pencil sketch layer off earlier. Much earlier. That you learned anything from this session. Remember that. Take that brush off earlier so you can just focus on painting. It makes it so much easier. It will make your life so much easier, I promise. It's made my life easier just in the last hour. Didn't know what I was doing before that. Just figuring it out as I go. I'm barely figuring it out, guys. Barely. Just barely. Alright. And you don't really need to add that much. It's just a little bit of defining like where the light is. Just a little bit. Some of these can use a bit of a just lighter shading, I think. Alright. Doing a lot of sideways action, so I think I might switch my brush over just a little bit. And I was late today, but you see we were going way past schedule because I want to make sure that we get everything we need to. So I hope it helps at least a little bit to make up for me being late this morning. And this helps me a lot too because I really wanted to like test myself or like push myself in my next children's book. It's my first completely independently made children's book. Everything else has been freelance and collaboration, and this is the first time I'm doing a children's book completely by myself. So I am very excited about it. I'm gonna be starting working on it as soon as I finish Jay's story part 2, but I already have it written. I already have my characters designed, at least my main characters. So it is something I'm really excited about. And it's something I feel really passionate about too, because I wanted to share like my culture and some of the things, experiences from when I was growing up. So it's close to home, and I will tell you guys more about it as you know, when the time is appropriate to share more. I will. it's still very early stages of development, but soon enough I'll be able to share more of it, significantly more, soon enough. Okay. These kind of folds in the dress, and just grab my other brush. I'm seeing like where it can come in handy to like have all these light and shades on different layers, so that, you know, if you do the shading for one and you need to erase some of it, you don't erase the shading of another part. So that could be something to just keep in mind in the future. Some of this away, and I think I can add a little bit of shading also over here where her arm would be, blocking the light a little bit. Maybe even here where her head would be kind of blocking the light. And let's come in with a little bit of a lighter color to contrast. Where the light will be hitting different spots. I want to use this brush. It's too much. Just got a little bit. Wasn't the right brush size, and it just kind of got a little wacky. So I just want to add a little bit. Just a little bit of the highlight. Oops. This area. Okay, let's do this. It's going pretty fast though. It's like I said, once you get in the hang of it and you know where you want to go, it can go pretty fast. Now I feel like, alright, I got this. I know where this is going. So that dress will leave a little bit of a shadow underneath there, but not too much. Okay, trace that part. Okay. Alrighty. And make her toenails just a little bit lighter. Erase this part. Probably even define her fingers a little bit more. Okay. So happy with that. Let's see. Do want to add some blush. Don't know what brush I want to use for that. Let's see. I think that's kind of nice. Maybe I'll just take away a little bit of the opacity. Maybe even add a little bit to her nose. Hmm. Maybe, alright, maybe I can just take the opacity down just a little bit, maybe to like 90. No, make it more bright. Let's say 95. And maybe I'll leave it there. Let's see, anything else? If I want to maybe add a little bit of highlight in her eye a little bit. Let's zoom in a little bit. Figure out if I like it or not. Maybe. Make that one a little bit smaller. On the side. Let's see. Okay. I mean, we're already at 12. So maybe I should just leave it here for now. I feel like I can do so much more. I'm kind of good on the characters for now. Let me see. Maybe I just want to mess with her hair a little bit more. So let's see. Make another one. So this would be her lips. And cheeks. No, it's her cheeks. Cheeks. Is it also her eyes? No, it's just the cheeks and the nose. So I'll also make this one a clipping mask. And I'll make another clipping mask for her hair. Okay, and what I want is to pick a brush that's more hairy. If that makes sense. Hairy rough. Maybe that is what I'm looking for. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Let's see. To add this highlights and lowlights. I like this one. Okay. Alright, so color is this. Make it darker back here. So I'm going to be pushing it. You can kind of see it a little bit. Just want to make it a little bit, you know, darker in some spots. And I think I can, that's why I made it in this separate layer, so I can come back and erase where I don't want it. Okay. want to leave her hair pretty dark. I don't know, I like it that way. I could have made it brown, but I like it black. Alright, so let's see. I think I want to leave the characters for now. See, what do I have? I'm just going to delete this one. Alright, so that's my back wall. I want to experiment with something for a minute. Let's see. Let's see. Grab that, make it darker. That there, I can just delete it. And a matter of fact, I can just select things, and that's the cool thing about Photoshop. It gives you the option to just work in certain areas with this selection tool. I mean, there's ways to do it in Procreate, but there's a little bit of difference there. It's not exactly the same. Just want to work this a little bit. Let's see. Let's select inverse and give me this color. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker for this corner here. And for my door, let's see, what did I do if I'm trying to think how I want to work this door now. I think I have some ideas though. For the moment, I'm going to turn my sketch back on. Oops. And let's see. Click shift, because I want to just do a couple of things here. Keep it simple though, much more simple than whatever I was doing last time. And now I want to select inverse to work on this part and make it kind of highlight there, highlight there, highlight here, highlight here, much, much simpler than what I was doing last time. Grabbing those door frames. Oops, I was supposed to also have it selected here as well. Let's see, deselect that. Alright, let's see without the sketch. It's looking so far. Feels a lot better than whatever I was doing before. I'll say that much. Alright. I want to select it a second again. Why is he doing that? It's not letting me. Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna work one at a time. So, or two at a time. If you'll let me. And let's go down here. I'm pushing the wrong thing. No wonder. Alright. No wonder. I think I was just pushing the wrong button. Sorry. Alright. Let's see if you'll let me. Like that, and like that. I'm going to select the inverse of this. And go a little darker with some of these. Not that dark. Alright, let's see. Alrighty, that feels better anyway. And I'm going to delete the part I don't want down here. Okay. And brush, grab this color, okay. I want to make this darker. Not that dark. Edit. Trying to find the right balance so we'll get what I'm looking for. think what I may do is to add in some highlights where I want them to be. So just zoom in a little more. Oops, what the hell? Okay. I feel like there's something, yeah, I knew there was something missing. She has her little mermaid poster, so there should be in the wall stuff. Gonna make that. Do I have the? Okay, good. All right, so let's see how it's looking so far. Gonna move this over just a little bit so it's not like conflicting with my genie guy. I think that's better. No tangents, please. All right, and now let's see. I think we can start. What I want to do now is underneath the wall stuff is make the shadows for all of the wall stuff. And I think I'll just make it and then merge it down. Because I can technically put it on the same as the BG texture, but I'd rather just put it on its own layer, and then later if I want to go ahead and merge them, then I can do that. So let's grab some of these colors to make some shadows for more stuff. So they don't look like they're just kind of floating, you know? Okay. And making all these things so that our stuff doesn't look like it's just floating midair, which is what we don't want it to look like. And I guess I can make a shadow for this guy too, why not? I got this little toy that looks just like that thing now. It's called a Plunderling, which they were selling at the, oh yeah, I didn't even mention, I was at the Animation Summit this, sorry, I was at the Animation Summit this week volunteering, the Animation VFX show for Animation Magazine. And that was really fun. I had a good time. These things. Look-y, feel like this one is going to have the light going this way, so we can have a shadow of that. And maybe like a couple of things here. That feels like that's makes sense. And I also feel like maybe back here there'll be shadow. That's going to be lighting, so maybe just back there, maybe back here, maybe a little bit bigger for that, but for now it can work. And I'll have to make the wall shadow go a little bit more drastic over here. All right, we made a ton of progress today. I feel like more than we have, but I don't want to like compare it. I just feel like today was a good day for progress, which we need in the world. So I feel happy and I feel good about this. And let's just make this a little bit more visible right here. And I think we're good for today. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to thank you so much for joining me for workshops, master workshops, Vista Portfolio. And thank you so much again. I hope to see you guys again really soon. And until then, have a great weekend and I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.